mystery. Nothing is impossible through you. Blind eyes are open, strongholds are broken. I am living by faith. Nothing is impossible. Greatest day in history. Death is beaten, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Empty cross, the empty grave. Life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. And happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. Greatest day in history. Death is beaten, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Empty cross, the empty grave. Life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Oh no, forever I'm changed. And what a glorious day, what a glorious way that you have saved me. And what a glorious day, what a glorious name, Jesus. Happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Oh, happy. Forever I'm changed. I am changed. I am You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. And you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you, I worship you. You are here and you're healing every heart. I worship you, yeah, I
Nitro Kids, I've got a question for you this morning. This whole month we've been learning about worship, about what it is and why it's so important. But I wonder, why do you think God created worship? I mean, what was his reason for it? Why do you think God created the act of worship? I wonder what you think. You know, as we read the Bible, we read of countless stories of men and women worshiping God, men and women praising God for who he is and what he had done. And what strikes me about every single one of these stories is that as they worshiped God, as they praised him for who he is and what he had done, something always changed. Take, for example, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. As these three men declared God's sovereignty and faithfulness before King Nebuchadnezzar, they were filled with this indescribable confidence, even though they knew they were about to be thrown into a fiery furnace. Or what about Jonah? As he praised God from the belly of a fish, his fear was replaced with peace because he knew he could depend on God. And what about Paul and Silas? As they sat chained together in a prison cell, they began to sing hymns of praise to God. And as they did, the prison walls broke open. When these men and women worshiped God, when they praised him for who he is and what he had done, their fear turned to peace, their sorrow turned to joy, their faith increased, and miracles happened. See, every one of them had a fresh encounter with the living God. And Nitro Kids, that's why God created worship. God created worship as an opportunity for us to draw near to him, for us to be renewed in his love for us, his faithfulness to us, and his promises for us. God created worship as an opportunity for us to encounter him afresh and be changed in the process. And the amazing thing, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Jonah, or Paul and Silas, God lays out this invitation for us to draw near to him in worship, for us to encounter him afresh anytime, anywhere. See, God doesn't need a big stage or a catchy song to draw near to us. All he needs is our heart. A heart that is open, a heart that is willing, and a heart that says yes to encountering him. But you know, sometimes I think worship can become like that old Christmas present from 2 years ago. You know, when you first got it, you were so excited. You couldn't wait to use it. But fast forward 2 years, I wonder if you can even remember where that present is. And I think sometimes that's what can happen to our worship. Sometimes we can forget the reason why God even created it. And it kind of makes me think of this do not disturb sign. My sister got me this sign when I was in high school. And every time I had to study for an exam, I would hang it on my door so my family knew not to come in and disturb me. And it worked pretty well. I mean, whenever I had this sign up, I was never interrupted. And the truth is, sometimes I think this is how we worship God. Sometimes we can become so familiar with coming to church and singing along to all the songs, but all the while, our hearts have a do not disturb sign hanging from them. All the while, our hearts are saying to God, don't come in, don't disrupt me, don't interrupt me, don't change me. And Jesus warned against this. In the book of Matthew, he spoke to a group of Pharisees, the religious leaders of the day, and he said to them, you honor me with your lips, but your hearts are far away from me. You worship me in vain. See, Nitro Kids, God created worship to be so much more than just a sing-along to a catchy song. God created worship as an opportunity for us to draw near to him, for us to be renewed in his love for us, his faithfulness to us, and his promises for us. God created worship as an opportunity to encounter him afresh and be changed in the process. But he needs our hearts. He needs a heart that is open, a heart that is willing, and a heart that says yes to encountering him. So as we come to the end of our series on worship, Nitro Kids, I want to ask you this one final question. The next time you worship God, will you say yes to encountering him?